Well, hi, partner. We've been seeing a lot of your kind around here in these parts of Thunder Junction. It seems to be the hot spot for, well, basically everything these days. All sorts of odd folk are passing through, which means you need to be on your guard. Luckily, though, my pal Deputy Jim is here to give you the skinny on the top 5 most wanted list. What is up, my friends? Welcome, Deputy Jim here. Gonna go over the top 5 most wanted cards in Outlaws of Thunder Junction. These are the cards that are gonna make an immediate impact on standard, the ones you gotta be watching out for. First up is Slick Shot Show Off. 2 mana for a 1/2 bird wizard. It's got flying, it's got haste, kinda has super prowess, where whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. That's pretty awesome, honestly, just even without the plot ability, which we'll get to, as a really aggressive flying prowess attacker. But there's more. It has the plot ability. I mean, you can spend 2 mana, put it on the side, and then play it for free on any future turn. This is huge because it allows you to set up for a big turn, kind of get your prowess going all at once. So you can plot it, and then on turn 4, you can play it for free, have a protection spell maybe, play some spell spells, and go in for a huge attack. This card is going to be awesome with cards like Monstrous Rage and Twin Inferno, which just those 2 cards together will leave you with an attack for 16 damage by itself. So this is going to be a cool one. Watch out for this guy or it's going to kill you. Our next card starts with a joke. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Aven Interrupter. Aven Interrupter is a 3 mana 2/2 white flying flash creature. And when it ETBs, you can exile target spell. Then that spell becomes plotted. So like our last card, plotted means that a card is off to the side and can be played for free on any future turn. So this is a really, really awesome tempo tool for mono white decks, where your opponent casts a Sunfall. I know you all hate that card, right? The opponent casts Sunfall, and you can just say, hey, no, you can't cast that actually, maybe next turn, right? And that's a huge one because how many times you've been playing an aggro deck and you're about to kill them, next turn, and they cast Sunfall, right? So this gives mono white decks, they don't need to splash blue for negate anymore, or black for duress. You can just counter their spell, stop their combo, slow them down. This is going to be a huge one. He may have snuck past me into 4th place on tiebreakers at the 2022 World Championship, but Nathan Story made it count and won the whole thing as our world champion and got to make his own card, which is Duelist of the Mind. This is a 2 mana blue creature. It's a human advisor. It's a star 3, more on that in a minute. It is flying, it is vigilance, and its power is equal to the number of cards you've drawn this turn. And then whenever you commit a crime, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card only once a turn. Committing a crime is a big mechanic in the set that means just to target your opponent or any of their stuff. So play a kill spell, target a creature, whatever it might be. And this card is obviously great by itself, but also plays really, really well with cards like Rafine, Scheming Seer, or Proph's Eidetic Memory, which allow you to pump this thing up with counters, making flying and vigilance to get this huge kind of Sarah Angel attacker and blocker. This is going to be a big deal. Next up is the commander favorite, who's made her way onto Thunder Junction, Marchesa, Dealer of Death. This is going to cost a Grixis, a blue, a black, and a red for a 3/4 legendary human rogue. Pretty well sized, right? And whenever you commit a crime, you may pay 1 mana, and if you do, you look at the top 2 cards of your library, put 1 in your hand and 1 in the graveyard. That's obviously awesome. It's a card drawing engine. Doesn't actually draw a card though for Shielder, which is nice. And then you can put cards in your graveyard also. And committing crimes is what Grixis does, right? Bloodtithe Harvester, kill your creature. That's a crime. Corpse Appraiser, exile card from the graveyard. That's a crime. Counter spells, discard spells, removal spells, all crimes. Even recurring crime effects like Lord Skitter or Graveyard Trespasser, which can target cards in graveyards over and over again. This is going to be a great value engine for any sort of Grixis-based mid-range deck. Our last card is one that comes off one of the many bonus sheets that Thunder Junction has to offer, Harvester of Misery. While the breaking news and special guest sheets are full of crazy powerful reprints for limited and older formats, the big score sheet, denoted by the vault door symbol, is legal and standard alongside the main set. And what a card Harvester of Misery is. 5 mana for a 5/4 Menace Spirit. When it enters the battlefield, all other creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. That's pretty good by itself, right? Kind of a mini Massacre Worm effect. But you could also pay 2 mana and discard it to give it target creature -2/-2 till end of turn. So you have a split card here of basically just Channel Disfigure as well as 5 mana Massacre Worm, which is incredible. This is a really, really powerful control mid-range card, able to kill things early, be a threat late. This is cheap, uncounterable, triggers the send, puts a creature in the graveyard. This card's going to be awesome against all those Convoke decks and aggro decks, and even just if this just kills 1 creature, this is great as well. Big fan of Harvester of Misery. This is a really powerful set with a ton going on, so while these cards are all awesome, there's much more to dive into. It's about sundown here, though, so I'm going to pass you back to Sheriff Davis. Well, thanks there, Deputy Jim. I'm sure y'all want to get in on the action yourself, so here's how. You'll get to see Deputy Jim and all your other favorite content creators have first crack at Outlaws of Thunder Junction in the Early Access Streamer event on April 10th. For all you paper slingers out there, pre-releases will be held on April 12th to the 18th, and there'll be a ton of other great events like the Standard Showdown, Commander Party, Store Championships, and more. For now, that's all for me, but thanks for watching, and y'all come back now, you hear?